Hello everyone, welcome to Present Path Tarot. I'm showing off today the Bosch playing card deck. It's a collector's edition and this is number 258 of 3200. I love Hieronymous Bosch. He's one of my favorite artists. I love the Garden of Earthly Delights. I did a great puzzle of it. And so this is the official unboxing video. Here we go. Oh, it feels so good. Get that plastic off. So, I went to the Prado in Spain in 2019 and got to spend a long time. We went in that museum and I was like, I got one room I'm going to. First and foremost, I spent 25 minutes with the Garden of Earthly Delights because I love crazy old Hieronymous Bosch. So this is made by 2020 Sunish Chabba, produced by Guru Playing Card Company in Australia, printed in Taiwan. And yeah, nice matte print with, there is some raised embossed feeling about it, which is pretty nice. I really like this box. It's a nice matte print and it has a really subtle, detailed, tiny embossing going on. So you can just feel there's a little lift to some of the images. Really beautiful. Man kissing a pig. You know how it goes with Hieronymous Bosch. You got to make out with pigs sometimes. So with these type of things where there's a sticker at the top, I prefer to crack the bottom. Still got one in there. Okay. Ooh, the cards are slippy. I can already feel them just slipping. Okay. So the cool thing about this deck is that they are going to all fit together to make one large picture that I'm going to show you at the end. Now the card stock is very nice. Like I said, very slippy, very sleek. Gotta love the Hieronymous Bosch. So he was a painter from the 1500s. From what I understand, he was a pretty pious man. Can't help but wonder if the ergot was in the water, or not in the water, in the bread nearby. And he did a lot of wildly surreal images that usually involved animals, obviously creatures of his own design. And you can see this deck is going out of order. So this is a very famous bird creature that's actually in the painting is like pooping humans out. So these have been adapted to be a little bit more G-rated, actually, I think. We'll see how it goes. And Hieronymous Bosch was a surrealist Dutch painter, one of the first surrealists as far as I understand it. And he made a really famous triptych called the Garden of Earthly Delights. And when I went to Spain with my partner in 2019, I told him we only had a little bit of time at the Prado, and I was like, dude, just get ready. I'm spending all the time in the Bosch room. I spent like 25 minutes just staring down the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is just epic. And it was not enough time, so I bought the puzzle and did the puzzle. And in the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is his most famous painting, you have three parts of it. The Eden Paradise, which kind of looks like Burning Man fun, and then Hell. And the fun thing is when you're doing the puzzles of his, you get these little tiny details that, you know, you don't even notice, but then when you're putting puzzle pieces together, you can see them. This pink motif tower is one of his styles. So this seems to be derivative of him, using his exact images and then editing them somewhat. He has a thing for birds, obviously. And it's interesting that he was religious, but there's all kinds of really outrageous sexual things going on in these pictures. It's cool that the Prado was able to establish itself as one of the places that has the most of his art. They call him Bosco, I think. And it's going to be fun to play cards with these because, you know, you're not going to be too bored looking at these while your friend's taking their sweet butt time, getting their gin rummy figured out, you know? And see if I can get the focus on that awesome cat. Clearly the person who made this deck, it was a GoFundMe, and it's clear that he loved Hieronymus Bosch, and this is just a deep homage to him. So it's kind of more obvious, since the cards are somewhat out of order, pretty out of order, but they're in some sort of order, that when you lay all these out, it's going to make that big image. What is happening to that frog? Poor froggy. I don't know what's going on with you, buddy. Because there's like a theme of color and style, and so they're clearly going to somehow set up next to each other, or maybe this way. Oh yeah, there we go. See, you can see the connections of the lines with this dragon throwing fire over here, creepy dude above. So that he's famous for this kind of bladder look up here. There's a very organic thing going on with Hieronymus Bosch of, I mean, that's almost steampunk though. Some of my lighting's going a little wacky. Hope that balances. And so when you're doing the puzzle of Hieronymus Bosch, this is very much from the top part of the party garden. And yeah, it's hard to tell if some of these are directly from him, and I wonder if some of them are just stylized after him, which would take a lot of work. Ooh, that is like a vagina. Oh, and the cards are falling over. Oh no. As that fell though, I could see this going on. Okay, so when it all goes together, it's going to make one big picture, and it's going to connect. So let's see. This ear with the sword in it, which is a famous image of his. Yes, that's what's going to happen. So we'll have to see it come together. I will take a picture of this at the end. And I don't know. You gotta love it or you don't. I love it. This is such a fabulously old surrealism. I mean, he was painting in 1500, way before Dali came along. So this is a famous part of hell. And there's another bladder. And I know from art history class in college that this in here is a little character in the Garden of Earthly Delights, the hell portion. And it actually was supposed to be Hieronymus Bosch's self-portrait inside hell. So he put himself in hell, which is, pretty funny. Oh yeah, you can see how this fishy is going to connect. Oh, fishtail. Just riding a fish with an owl on your head with your steward behind you. Just an average day in the plague era. So he didn't live, I think, during a direct plague, although he was close to one, and so I think it's very plague-infused images. This is clearly Escher related. Try and get close enough without getting it blurry. And Hieronymus Bosch also, I think he was around at the time of the Spanish Inquisition, so there's that kind of penance going on that feels relevant. Okay, I'm going to put them all together now and show you what it looks like as a collective. Fun. So here we have the full effect of all the cards put together. I will say that doing this was a mildly OCD testing experience because the cards are slippery and they bump into each other, and so things get a little misaligned. So this is not for the OCD faint of heart, but it makes an incredible large image that is really fun, and it's neat because it's such a conglomeration of other Bosch artworks that have come together into this modern playing card deck. So I love this. It's a fun deck. I'm going to have fun playing gin rummy with it with my people, maybe some cribbage. And good job, Sunish, on this incredible, must have been a lot of work to put this together. Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe to my page and check out my other flip-throughs and tarot and oracle decks, and also my videos about how to read the cards. By the way, did you know that playing cards as they are today come from the tarot? The tarot was the first playing card deck. They took out the major arcana and the female jacks and made 52 cards out of 78. So whenever you're playing card decks, you could potentially read some oracle tarot. Thanks for listening, and treat yourself to learning more about Hieronymous Bosch.